Alright, this is Big Boss here with Foxhound Woods Ball, come to you from Fort Lauderdale and from my blog page over at outerheavenpaintball.blogspot.com. I'm also repping my friends over at Acid Tactical, so you can check them out at acidtactical.com. Anyway, yeah, it's been a mad minute since I've been on YouTube, and yeah, you've seen me from my previous videos, clean shaven, haircut. Well, I just needed a change. It's like 2020 was a shit year for me. Aside from the Chi-Com flu going around, uh, personal loss in the family. Other than that, I needed the change. I needed it for me. So figured I've always tried to keep myself at somewhat of a clean cut look. It's like now I don't give a flying fuck. So screw it. Let the hair grow out, let the beard grow out, and I gotta say, I feel great, I look great. Aside from that, we got some stuff going on with our friends over in the Great White North, Canada. Apparently, their country's national embarrassment, Justin Trudeau and his government, have enacted something called they're trying to push for Bill C-21, which is to prevent quote unquote gun violence. Now, yeah, I get it. I want to stop gun violence. I want to stop senseless killings. However, part of that bill is a thing about replica firearms. In this case, they're talking about magazine-fed paintball and airsoft. And for all you guys that do paintball and airsoft up in Canada, you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. Now, this bill, if passed, will practically destroy the paintball industry as far as the magazine fed side goes. Airsoft is going to be wiped off the map entirely, if not both those segments of paintball being forced underground. This also gives the police up there the right to, if they stop you, or they could confiscate your stuff, destroy it, and you can't argue with them. There's no compensation. There's no legal recourse for you to take to fight this. And theoretically, this gives the cops up there the right to hang out in front of the paintball and airsoft fields to see what you're carrying. They could shut the entire field down, confiscate everybody's stuff, and quite frankly, I am not entirely sure about the laws for entrapment up there, but that doesn't sit too well. Now, sadly, for as much as the paintball and airsoft industry have tried to separate themselves or put some distance between each other and the firearms guys, with Trudeau's bill, they just pushed all three of them together, and quite frankly, it has pissed off a shit ton of Canadians. The gun grabbers are pissed because they don't think it has enough teeth. The paintball, airsoft, and firearms guys see it as an infringement on what rights they do have in Trudeau's politically correct Canada. And here in America, we're also having some similar issues, but this video is primarily on C-21 in Canada. However, as an American, I feel I need to give my 2 cents on this because, look, paintball and airsoft are the low-hanging fruit when it comes down to the gun debate and the politics around firearms, both in the US and in Canada. Sadly, if what Trudeau wants with C-21 goes through, the gun grabbers down here in the States are going to use that as an example to try and craft their own legislation, and that will be, for them, just a small stepping stone to eroding Second Amendment rights here in the US. Now, in Canada, they're probably seeing what the gun grabbers are doing down here in the States and seeing what not to do. Now, aside from that, as somebody who's been a believer on human rights, and one of them being the right to self-defense, where's the line? Where's the line between trying to do public safety At some point, where does it cross into infringing on individual rights? That's one thing I want to know. And this bill, economics wise, it's going to destroy tourism in Canada. How many Americans and Canadians go back and forth over that border to do hunting, fishing? How many of them travel between the US and Canada for paintball and airsoft events? That is a multi-million, if not multi-billion-dollar industry. Those are multi-billion-dollar industries, for God's sakes, and Trudeau's practically going to kill them. Now, all I'm going to say is the hypocrisy of something like this is something that really concerns me, because I see it here with the gun grabbers in the US, and it's no different than the gun grabbers in Canada. It's like these are the kind of people who want to dictate what the rights of the average citizen is, either American or Canadian. Yet these guys are surrounded by 24/7 protection teams, if not provided by the state, then provided by private sector people. And quite frankly, look, I don't want to trounce on guys that are private military contractors, because they do an insane job in an insane place, and more often than not, those are in places that are failed states and goddamn war zones. But when you see these guys, these private armed guards for these public figures or that are private sector, wouldn't they, to some extent of the imagination, be considered mercenaries when you really think about it? Considering how many people get into private security with military backgrounds, but I digress. Look, we gotta fight C-21. There's a link that I'm going to put in the description to this video that you could share your outrage with your MPs and your officials up there in Canada. For all my Canadian viewers, there's a change.org petition for non-Canadian citizens to give their support. And finally, both my blog page, Outer Heaven Paintball, and my friends over at Acid Tactical, we've both been running Teespring shops over the past year, and we've both of us designed some merchandise for our Canadian friends if they want to buy something, so that way they could publicly display their outrage over this joke of a bill called C-21 and their outrage at Trudeau and his government for this insanity. Now, other than that, I've also got an article to a follow-up I did for my initial article on this. Like, comment, share it around this video. Like, comment, as I said, same with the blog, share it. Check out the articles, check out the Teespring shops, buy what you like. Anyway, on a final note for this, what Trudeau and his government failed to understand when they lumped the paintball guys, the airsoft guys, and the gun guys together, we're going to set aside whatever collective prides and ego we have and come together as a united front on this matter, because they do not want their rights violated. They do not want any more restrictions like this. They do not want their hobbies, their passions in life, and ultimately their rights regulated out of existence. And for all my Canadian friends up there that are watching this, you guys got a lot of Americans that are looking at this stuff, and we'll do everything we can to support you guys, alright? Anyway, this is Big Boss, and I'm out of here.